Jean-Claude Todibo, right? Hear me out. Jean-Claude Todibo to Man United. Asking fee or selling price, you can call it, has been named by the side of Nice. He's the captain of Nice, and Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to confirm to us that the price of Jean-Claude Todibo has been confirmed right about now. And Raphael Varane, hope for obviously signing a new contract is really up. Looks like it's going to hit resurrect. And lastly, Kambwala. This guy, I think he's 19, 20 years of age, making his debut for Man United against the team of, was it West Ham or Nottingham? One of those two games. Played very well, and he has gone ahead and really spoken a little bit about that in here onto this channel. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I scheduled it at 3 a.m, but I delayed a little bit. I'm sorry about that, but never say never. You know how we do it here onto this channel. We keep going amid this what, and nothing really never stops us. Jean-Claude Todibo has been one of those that Eric Ten Hag has gone ahead to follow up for a very long time, and he plays for OGC Nice in France, a team that's owned by the minority shareholder of the club of Man United known as Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And we are really one of those teams that have a player or have good access to sign that player. And obviously, when Spurs wanted to go for him in the January transfer window, they failed because it looks like Sir Jim Ratcliffe was like, I cannot let this player that can go to the team that I'm going to obviously own 25% minority stake to go to Tottenham Hotspur. And it looks like there is green light that this player might obviously coming through to the club of Man United. Amidou Kamara, good morning. How is Sila Rihon? And hope you're really having fun wherever you are. And we're here to bring you this story. Let's start it off with thanking God for the gift of life and the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. And let's not forget, obviously, coming through in huge numbers to see to it that you really support the Lord. The Muslims, it's obviously a Barakallahu Fikum and a Juma Karim and a Ramadan Karim. Then for the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Happy Good Friday. Today is when Jesus was really crucified. Not so? This day he was crucified, and I know most of you are really getting ready to go to the church and really try to make that holy cross work. Not so? Now, how many likes on this video? Let's call for how many likes? Let's call for 300 likes. Smash on this video and continue to subscribe because we want to hit 17,000 subscribers, and you're left with few subscribers, less than 20, to hit the magic number of 17,000 subscribers on this channel. Now let's go here with this story broken by Fabrizio Romano today about Todibo. Romano said Jean-Claude Todibo will be valued at around £40 million by Nice for the summer transfer window. He was already on Manchester United's list since last summer, but more clubs keep monitoring him. DJ Spino, how are you? A long time, my brother. Long time. Good to see you again. DJ Spino, hope you're doing fine. It has been really, really long. So, Jean-Claude Todibo has made it to the list of Man United ever since the summer of 2022, and we need to eat that. For him to come through to the club of Man United, all what we needed was simple: sell Harry Maguire for £30 million and use that amount of money to obviously bring in Jean-Claude Todibo or Disasi. And Todibo remained the only option because Disasi had already gone ahead to make his decision to obviously go ahead and really play for the club of Chelsea, because Chelsea went ahead to put in a bid that couldn't be really let down as United had really taken long without really doing this, because we never had the money to do this. Now for Todibo, looks like £40 million. £40 million is the price that Nice want to sell Todibo. And it shows you that the more you take to sign a player, the more things change. Last season, Todibo was for like 30 to 35 million pounds, and right now 5 million pounds have gone ahead to be added. So what should United do for 40 million pounds? There is Braithwaite, is being valued between, I think, 40 to 50 million pounds. And I've already told you I'm Team Todibo. Whoever central defender you talk about, I'm Team Todibo, because I know the quality he has. He's a very good centre back, press resistant, good in the air, and he can really do lots of things on the game. So I really like the guy. I like him like no other. And Todibo is really one of those players that you have to come out and really hail for his quality. So for me at Man United, I would go for Todibo. I know very many are going to hate to be put on the list. Braithwaite, Gehi, Bremer, Antonio Silva, Goncalo Inacio. There is this other French guy that plays for Lyon. So name any defender that you want. I think Todibo should be the guy. He's fast. His physical strength is obviously one of those that you would love to see your defender have in the Premier League. He has all the qualities to fit into the team of Man United. And remember, he's a player who was at La Masia at Barcelona. You understand? So him being at La Masia and Barcelona should really come out and give us a very good goal that he's really a very good player. And even Barcelona is going to have to show interest to re-sign the player. And we wait to see what results are going to be like that. So let's go to Jacobs Ben. He was speaking to the Football Minute more, and he said, Man United are concerned by Nice's 47-51 million. Are concerned with Nice's 47 million pounds to 51 million pounds asking price for Jean-Claude Todibo. They won't receive a discount from Nice for the centre back despite being owned by INEOS. United don't want the price as United don't see the price as the best value for money. Obviously, this is what Jacobs Ben told us, I think, mid this month, but Fabrizio Romano is going to have to let us know that now the final price is going to have to be reached. It's 40 million pounds, and I think it's really going to work out in the favor for the club of Man United. Then Nice Martin has told us that Man United will bank on David Braithwaite and Sir Jim Ratcliffe to use INEOS' relationship to try and sign Nice's Jean-Claude Todibo in the summer. Now, this is where the biggest conversation should be. You cannot tell me that we can fail to sign a player from Nice. Nice can even give us this player on loan with an option to buy that is really mandatory. That is it. So, Nice should know, Sir Jim Ratcliffe should know that this is the first test. How can we fail to get in a player like Todibo, yet he is under your club? And you wish us well. The moment you don't get us this guy, it will be like a sign we are not really good to go with you. We will respect you, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. We respect your input at the club of Man United and all the monies you've got to spend. But all in all, if you're losing out on players to teams that are really our rivals, then we're not going to be happy about that, because you have all what it takes to command the people at Nice to sell this guy to the club of Man United. And by the way, he should be the easiest defender to sign in at the club of Man United. For anyone who believes that it should be really a hard deal, it shouldn't, because the negotiations are really being done in between INEOS and Man United, and for that, I cannot really see any reason as to why we can stop really getting in a player like Todibo. I like him, and I really front him ahead of any other player. Though I was really shocked that he was not part of the of the French national team that played in the friendlies, yet he has been a regular. He was even taken to the World Cup. That is Jean-Claude Todibo. So I don't know what is really affecting him recently, but he's a very good player. That Manchester United should bring in to obviously complement our defenders. His coming in through means that we should really let some defenders leave. And some of the defenders that are being talked about is Harry Maguire, Lindelof, Raphael Varane in there for you. Now, we all know that Man United has the following central defenders now. Lisandro Martinez. We have Varane, Maguire, Lindelof, Kambwala, and John Evans. We are having close to 6 central defenders. And for any team we should be having like 5, and Kambwala being one of those youngsters coming in from the academy should be not counted. So if we need 5 central defenders, we need those that are going to be really fit always. We don't need these defenders who are going to come in through and really be injury prone. So if I'm getting Todibo, I think it will decrease the chances of players like Varane, Harry Maguire, Lindelof to be playing at the club of Man United. But if I'm Man United, I've always told you that the first player I really take out is Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire should be the first defender for us to sell. I know he's going to hate to put in glimpses of good performances, but for me, at the age of 30 plus, if you're only going to hit, obviously put us into that level, then you don't deserve to be club of Man United. Consistency is what makes you a United player. If you're not really consistent, then what puts you into this ilk of being one of the best players at the club of Man United, earning £200,000 a week plus? So for me, I don't really find it sane for him to come out and really not get out of this club. Harry Maguire should be sold for me, because I think if we keep him here for 1 more year, his value is really going to deteriorate at the club of Man United, and nothing is really gonna really get us going. Now, I dream of a central defense partnership of Todibo and Lisandro Martinez. I don't know whether it's me only. I know there are even others, but I would love to see Todibo playing alongside Lisandro Martinez, because he's also a press-resistant player. He's really tall, and he fits he ticks all the boxes of a player that you should bring in through to play into the Premier League and the Champions League. So for me, Todibo is the guy that I would love to see at the club of Man United, and I see no reason as to why we shouldn't really get this job done. £40 million, that is really limited money when you look at players of his quality. And the more teams come in to obviously sign him, the more his price is really going to increase. So we need to do the needful and really get this deal over the line as soon as possible. But INEOS shouldn't really allow this deal to happen when it's not going to Man United. This deal should happen in the favor of Man United, and Todibo should be a player of Man United next season. So let's wait and see how that happens. Are United willing to pay 40 million pounds as they really sit in to see what's the best for the club in total? So after that, let's go to another story coming in through from Jacob's Ben, talking about Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane is one of those players that has gone ahead to be linked to Saudi Arabia and very many other teams, and it's like he wants to end his career at the club of Man United and really start something new, because of United coming out and telling him that he should take a pay cut. But Jacob's Ben has told us that Raphael Varane could yet be offered a new deal of reduced wages. However, Saudi deal makers are optimistic of persuading him to join either Al Nassr or Al Ittihad. So, at the age of 30, I don't think that Raphael Varane should be really leaving the top 5 elite leagues. No way. I think he should find means of really playing for a certain team, even though it's not Man United, but he deserves better. But I think if I told Man United, I think I find a way of really convincing him to obviously get in a contract on a reduced fee, because we've gone ahead to see to it that when he's on the field of play, you see our performances. As a club of Man United, we perform better, we defend better, and his experience helps us. So we need this guy at least for 1 or 2 seasons. However much is injury prone, but whenever he's available, he does his level best. So I see no reason as to why we should sell Raphael Varane, unless otherwise there is money coming in through. But how are you gonna really get in money for a player whose contract is really running down on the 30th of June? Right? So it will depend on Raphael Varane and his agent, plus very many others, because you can't come out and you tell me that Man United in its position and where they are, they're really getting themselves rid of that experienced player. I don't know who was going to hit to obviously be thrown, but I think Varane puts in huge experiences for the club of Man United and gets us up and running and going in there. So I don't see any reason as to why he should really be sold or believe, because he's gonna be living on a free. It's not about selling him, but I see no reason as to why he leaves his job and go to find another job elsewhere. I'm talking to one of my friends. He's like, game time is really a problem, and he's like, some people are really questioning players because of lack of game time, but do those players do exactly what the manager tells them? That is the most important bit of it all. So for Todibo to Man United, it's one of those deals that I would love to see it done and dusted. That is it. I would love to see that deal done and dusted and see how we really proceed. But Raphael Varane, I love the guy. I love the guy, and you also love him. I know he has gonna hate to really shield that back four. And on Saturday, as we play against Brentford, he's gonna be very influential into that side of the game, because he will really do the needful to see to it that we obviously get in those points and keep winning. So that is Raphael Varane for you. And Saudi Arabia are really convincing him to go. I know they have the money, but it will depend on what Raphael Varane wants. If he still wants to play for a club like Man United, he'll have to accept a pay cut. And if he doesn't, then he'll obviously have to leave the club of Manchester United as a free agent. Then Kambwala has said the following, reflecting onto the Premier League. He said, I've had the opportunity to say it already, but it's my dream come true, to be able to play for this club, biggest club in the world. I'm just so proud, so grateful, so grateful to have been able to achieve it. To have been able to play my first professional game in my career for Man United, it's just the best thing to have happened to me in his career. So he believes that he can really get into that team of Man United because it's really shaky and it's really having problems. And for his case, he believes that he has a lot to offer to the side of City. But City and the defenders they're really having, they are not really good. That is it. So when you look at Kambwala, he's a young lad, 19, 20 years of age. He has come in through to put in a shift and has been really hugely welcomed by the club of Man United. And Ten Hag is like, this is the guy that I'm supposed to be keeping at the club of Man United, and no reason as to why he should be leaving. He's young, profession, and he's really doing lots of things. I'm going to hate to see him start in the game of West Ham, where we lost by 2-0. He was not responsible for any of those goals and their midfield errors that resulted into West Ham scoring a brace against Man United. So when I look at everything and how it's panning out at the club of Man United, we are really having some young talent coming in from the academy, something that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and I hate to stress like 2-3 days ago on who he wishes to win the league, and said that it should be Arsenal because of what they've gonna hit to put in through. So these youngsters are really coming in through at a very right time, you know, because this manager they're really having, that is Erik ten Hag, can come out and really do lots of things. He's a proven coach for me, and nothing can really stop him from obviously getting and hitting his milestone in a nick of time. So that is it for the defenders. It was really something special about the defenders. Guys, I feel sleepy, but no matter what, we continue going in there. I'm having Amidu Kamara, Todibo, that's what you say. DJ Spino, morning Kamara, right? Thank you very much for watching in through. And the defense position for the club of Man United is really going to continue. Why? We don't know how many are really leaving. We might be here when Varane, Lindelof and Harry Maguire are really going to leave, plus Bjorn Evans, losing out on like 4 central defenders, and then get in yourself to see to it that we get really going and winning. So that's the problem, but we are really having a good central defense. I know it's really good, but we need to see it consistent for like the remaining 10 games of the Premier League. That will keep us, or take us to what we call the, it's called what? It's called the maximum point of things. So Thank you very much for watching through. We had Amidu Kamara, DJ Spino. You guys are really great and they were legends up this time to obviously watch this video. So go into the comment section. Tell me your thoughts about Todibo, 40 million pounds asking price named. Then we talk about Varane. Can you give him a new contract or you let him go, even if he accepts to really take a reduction of his salary? Then lastly, Kambwala is one of those that I'm going to hit to put in a shift, and I'm going to hit to speak to the people that are really concerned about his future at the club of Man United. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and Ramadan